Hi there. I'd like to thank the European Union Chamber of Commerce in Canada for the opportunity to present Prince Edward Island, Canada as a great place to do business. Prince Edward Island's reputation for quality products and service, as well as the welcoming and innovative spirit of our people, extends across this country and truly around the world. Our vibrant economy is rooted quite literally in the land, as well as in the waters that surround us. We have thriving farming and fishing industries, and we take great pride in being known for our world-class products, such as potatoes, blueberries, soybeans, and seafood like P.E.I. mussels, Malpec oysters, and lobster, caught in the freshest, cleanest, and coldest waters in the world. We have also found success in modern areas like bioscience, information technology, manufacturing, aerospace, renewable energy, and clean technology. As a government, I can tell you that we value partnership with the private sector, and we continue to invest in infrastructure and research assets that support emerging industries and help with the development of innovative products and companies. Prince Edward Island has consistently been a leader in Canada when it comes to population growth, job growth, increases in export shipments, new housing starts, and overall GDP growth. At the heart of our success is hardworking islanders. We are an island of dreamers and doers, a proud people who believe we can do anything. For businesses wanting to expand into the North American market, Prince Edward Island is an excellent launch pad into the rest of Canada and the United States. We will work with you as you look to grow and expand your business, expand into new markets, and to do it right here. Prince Edward Island is a great business location. It's also a great place to live, to work, to raise a family, and to play. We look forward to working with the European Union Chamber of Commerce and all of its members to discover mutual beneficial opportunities for all of us. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Premier. We'd also like to play a video to show a little bit of pictorial images of Prince Edward Island and give you a flavor of what it's like to live, work, and do business here in Prince Edward Island.
Imagine a place rich in history, culture, creativity, and scrumptious local food, where people are authentically friendly, where you're always close to your passions, where there's a strong entrepreneurial spirit, where quality of life and a successful career can go hand in hand, and where it's so scenic and peaceful it feels like a storybook land. Is it possible for one place to offer so much? It certainly is. When you choose Prince Edward Island, you'll find all of these things and so much more. Maybe it's the result of endless rolling hills and being surrounded by the ocean. For us, there's always something new cresting the horizon. The Mi'kmaq called this place the cradle on the waves, a crescent of red earth nestled in the warm waters of the Gulf of St. Lawrence. It's a place where things grow and develop, whether it's abundant crops, fresh shellfish, epic tales, or new inventions. Even the idea of Canada as a nation was born here. Anne of Green Gables, perhaps our best-known citizen, is a work of fiction. But when thousands of visitors come here to see the island they've pictured in their minds, they are thrilled to see that the shining waters, green pastures, and bright coastline they've read about aren't a fantasy. They are here, just waiting to be explored. On the island, we have always known that working together produces the best quality and helps get the most accomplished. Time hasn't changed that. Our bioscience and advanced manufacturing companies choose to work together just as much as our farmers and fishers do. Our schools, colleges, and university have been quick to respond to the changing needs of our workforce. This has been the key to being the only jurisdiction in Canada with continuous economic growth since 2008. Our province is doing well, but keeping score has never been our thing. Of course, this is exactly what makes P.E.I. such a great place to live, work, study, and play. It's a place where your neighbors take as much pride in your success as you do in theirs. Newcomers are choosing the island at a higher rate than anywhere else in the country. Our workforce is skilled and only getting stronger. And our employment rate is growing faster than anywhere else as well. It's no wonder we regularly lead the country in business confidence. Even our early learning and childcare system rated #1 in Canada. People are attracted to a place where families can thrive and grow, just like our startups, and where protecting the pristine natural beauty around us is a top priority. Here, we say what we mean, and we mean what we say. We don't just talk about diversity, we've wholeheartedly embraced it. When we call Prince Edward Island Canada's food island, we believe it and work hard for the title. We're tenacious, and we don't let up until we can stand back with our hands on our hips with something in front of us that we can be proud of. We're ready to help you pursue your passions and your ambitions. Choose P.E.I.
Welcome to Prince Edward Island. No truer pictures are worth 1,000 words. Hope you enjoyed the video and gave you a good overview of the things that we enjoy on a daily basis, and hopefully we're able to showcase Prince Edward Island. Again, my name is Daryl Bradley. I am the Director of Global Trade Services here at Innovation P.E.I. And again, I welcome you to P.E.I. We're calling you today from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, which is the capital city of Prince Edward Island. We wish we could host you in person, but obviously this is the next best thing. So again, we will give you an overview of what we do here at Innovation P.E.I. My responsibility as Director of Global Trade Services is export development, of which the European Union is extremely important to this province. So Delphine, I just wanted to thank you, the European Union Chamber of Commerce, for this great initiative. I understand the participants today, and many of you have had a journey across Canada. I hope you will see something that you do like today, and that there's some opportunity to move forward from an attraction standpoint, as well as a trade component as well. So with that, again, as I mentioned, we work here at Innovation P.E.I. We're the lead economic development agency here on Prince Edward Island. It's a provincial crown corporation, and what we're focused on here is attracting new companies, but also working with all our local businesses, our local SMEs, to enable growth, both here domestically, to obviously create jobs, and to build a prosperous economy, which we know export is a large component of that. At Innovation P.E.I., we have 3 divisions: Business Attractions and Emerging Sector, of which Brad is the Senior Director, Business Development and Innovation, and Global Trade Services. And I would be remiss, there is one missing here. We also have a Cultural Development division here as well. So we operate within the agency with 3 divisions. Global Trade Services is responsible for export development. Our team works with P.E.I. companies across all sectors to develop, enable, and ultimately maximize potential globally. How do we do that? We assist new and existing exporters with export readiness, so initiatives to help them make entry into markets. We help them with market development, we help them with capacity building, and we also help them with market access. So we work closely with our federal partners, Global Affairs Canada, around the world, to help companies here on Prince Edward Island gain access into, in this case, European Union. So they are the in-market trade exports, and we have a very close working relationship here on P.E.I. to work with our federal partners at Global Affairs. I'm not sure how familiar you are with Prince Edward Island. You did see the video, but just some interesting facts about P.E.I. We encourage you when the time is right. Hopefully you can come to visit us. But P.E.I. is for those of you out there that are golf enthusiasts, P.E.I. is actually Canada's #1 golf destination in Canada. We've got 33 golf courses here, and the snow is on its way, so the season has ended. But again, at some point, hopefully we could encourage you to come visit. Tourism, P.E.I. hosts over 1.5 million visitors annually. With COVID, obviously, that's been a major hindrance this year, but again, it is big for us here on Prince Edward Island. P.E.I. is Canada's smallest province. We have a population of about 159,000, so hopefully with that population, based on what you see today, you'll be impressed with some of the things that we do. P.E.I. is also the birthplace of Canada. This is in 1864, the Fathers of Confederation started the discussion for Canada to be born, and it was born in 1867. P.E.I. also has lots of European roots. Jacques Cartier actually discovered the island in 1534, so we have a long lineage with European descendants here as well. P.E.I. is probably best known or well known for its potatoes. Here on P.E.I. we grow about 86,000 acres of potatoes, and we ship all around the world. It's Canada's #1 producer. Potatoes were first harvested in 1771, so we've been at it for a bit. P.E.I. is a food island. We deem ourselves as a culinary destination. We're exporting world-famous potatoes, lobsters, mussels, oysters, and locally grown wild blueberries. You may be familiar with Anne of Green Gables. We are the home to Anne of Green Gables, which is the longest-running annual musical in the world. It's been running since 1965. We also have the Confederation Bridge. It's a 13-kilometer bridge across from New Brunswick to Prince Edward Island. It's the longest bridge over covered icy waters. And P.E.I. has 8 wind farms, which produces approximately 25% of our electric supply. So we are working towards being a green province. Our economy is a vibrant economy here on Prince Edward Island. We are the only provincial jurisdiction since 2008 to have continual positive economic growth. We've attracted over 75 businesses to relocate to Prince Edward Island. We've had the largest percentage increase in population and export in Atlantic Canada since 2013. 2019 real GDP growth was 5.1%, with exports at $1.7 billion. P.E.I.'s 2021 forecast is for 3.7% increase in GDP, which would lead the Atlantic region. Exports in 2019, as mentioned, were $1.7 billion, and increased at 17%. Just a quick overview on Prince Edward Island's global exports. P.E.I.'s international exports in 2019 grew 17.1%. The province itself, again, understanding we're a population of 159,000, with many exporting companies, we actually exported to 125 countries in 2019. Our P.E.I. exports year-to-date, September year-to-date, are just down 1% versus the Canadian national average being down 14%. So we are, in spite of COVID, still maintaining our export numbers. The top export products of Prince Edward Island as of September of this year to date, are potatoes. We export fresh and frozen potatoes. You're probably familiar with our lobster. We export frozen and live lobster to many countries around the world. Aerospace is a major contributor to the export on Prince Edward Island. Unfortunately, due to COVID, as is the case globally, the sector has been impacted dramatically, but it is a major sector here on Prince Edward Island. Bioscience, on the other hand, again, is a major export growth sector here on Prince Edward Island, and again, due to COVID, has seen some enormous growth. So we've been able to contribute to the COVID crisis. And frozen fruit. Frozen fruit, we have one of the largest blueberry exporters in North America, located here in Prince Edward Island, and we ship to places like Japan and other Asian countries, as well as destinations in Europe. European Union and Europe represents 4 of our top 10 export destinations as of September of this year. So Belgium would be there, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom. Many of these exports are related to the lobster sector, as well as bio, and in spots, aerospace pre-COVID. With regards to European Union exports, the European Union is P.E.I's second largest trading partner, next to the U.S. Exports to the European Union in 2019 represented about 12% of our trade here on Prince Edward Island. P.E.I exports to the EU have grown 37% since 2015, which is very impressive. And we've seen a growth of 47% from the year 2018 to 2019. P.E.I currently exports to 24 of 27 countries in the EU. And as of September year to date, exports are actually up just shy of 2% despite of COVID. The top 10 European Union importers of P.E.I products as of September of this year are located here: Belgium, France, Germany, UK, Spain, Netherlands, Ireland, Italy, Romania, and Denmark. And the key exports that we export to those countries is predominantly bioscience, aerospace, pre-COVID, lobster, and advanced manufacturing. So we have obviously core sectors here on Prince Edward Island, some long-standing core sectors. Agriculture would absolutely be a core sector here on Prince Edward Island. Potatoes contribute to our economy an estimated $1 billion to the Prince Edward Island economy. P.E.I is the largest potato producing province in Canada. Here we grow 1/4 of the potatoes of the country. We export, our exporters here in Prince Edward Island export potatoes to over 20 countries around the world. P.E.I potatoes, about 60% of our P.E.I potatoes are further processed into frozen potato products, predominantly French fries. We here have Cavendish Farms here on Prince Edward Island, which would be among the top French fry producers, not only in North America, but in the world. Grains and frozen fruit are also core exports here on P.E.I. As mentioned, we have one of the largest blueberry processors in North America located right here in Prince Edward Island. In 2019, there was about 176,000 acres of seeded barley, oats, wheats, and canola oil grown here as well for export markets. We also have a large dairy industry here as well. Our company has, our largest dairy company here, processor, has some international connections and is one of the largest specialty cheese producers in Canada, producing products like feta and Havarti, as well as they do a tremendous export business on condensed and evaporated milk. Fisheries, we're obviously very well known for our fisheries as well. Total pounds landed is almost 117 million pounds of total seafood products that were landed. In 2018, the P.E.I lobster fishermen landed 39 million pounds of lobster. And to put that in perspective, they land those volumes in an a 2-season landing. In 4 months, they land 39 million pounds of lobster, which is processed and or shipped live to many countries around the world, including Europe, Asia, and others. We're also known for our mussels, our P.E.I mussels as a brand. Prince Edward Island produces 80% of the Canadian mussel production, and we too ship that product globally as well. We've now started shipping bluefin tuna. Tuna, we're known as the tuna capital of the world. In 2018, we shipped just shy of 300,000 pounds of tuna. Tourism, of course, is a major sector here on Prince Edward Island. As you can see by the video, there are lots of things to do and see. We're known for our culinary, our food offerings. We're known for our golf. We're known for our culture. We're known for our beautiful beaches. and we're just known for enjoying a relaxing vacation. So again, at some point, we encourage and hope that you can visit us. In 2019, the province had just shy of 1.6 million total visitors to Prince Edward Island, with expenditures in close to $500 million. The tourism industry employs more than 7,700 full-time equivalent workers. Obviously, with the arrival of COVID, as is the case around the globe, the industry has been devastated, and we are working closely with our operators to help support them through this, and hopefully we can come out the other end. We do here on Prince Edward Island, from a COVID standpoint, we're obviously in the Atlantic District. With COVID hitting, we're Prince Edward Island. We're quarantined with the 4 Atlantic provinces in a restricted Atlantic bubble, which has been able to help us lessen the impact a little bit as we're able to travel freely between the 4 provinces. Prince Edward Island at this point is perhaps one of the safest places in the world as it relates to COVID. It's a terrible pandemic, but our government has done a wonderful job in kind of getting a handle on this. And to date, we only have 68 cases of COVID here on Prince Edward Island. So our exporters feel safe. Our residents feel safe. Again, hopefully we can control this and come out the other end. Major strategic sectors here on Prince Edward Island, I mentioned earlier, are Air Force and Defense. Again, globally, we know what's happening in the aerospace sectors. They have been devastated with no travel and no flights and so on and so forth. But it is a key sector here on Prince Edward Island, and Brad could talk about it a little bit later, but we've been able to develop an aerospace cluster here on Prince Edward Island with multiple companies in that sector, with expertise and skills and efficiencies here on Prince Edward Island, and to be able to export those products and services is key here for Prince Edward Island. Bioscience, again, Brad can touch on bioscience. There is a bioscience cluster here. We on Prince Edward Island have been able to attract some world-class companies to be part of this cluster. And again, with COVID, this sector has really spiked, and we're doing our part here on Prince Edward Island to kind of contribute to hopefully the resolve of the COVID pandemic. Information and technology, again, another strategic sector here on Prince Edward Island. We have 2,500 people employed. There are about 100 businesses in the IT sector here on Prince Edward Island, and more important than ever, with remote work, we hope we can attract some companies as well. 85% of these businesses are exporting, and revenues are just, in 2017, we're about $330 million. We have a skilled workforce here. We have a low operating cost, and P.E.I. is really a really great place to live. Prince Edward Island, from an exporting standpoint, location. We are strategically located, for those that are familiar or not familiar, on the edge of North America's east coast to serve the North American and European markets. Prince Edward Island is in the Atlantic time zone, which allows business to be conducted on the same day. So 9 o'clock here in Charlottetown, we're 1 o'clock in London, 2 in Paris, Barcelona, Rome, and Munich. So business can be conducted on the same day because of the Atlantic time zone. From a logistics standpoint, P.E.I. goods are shipped from Prince Edward Island globally by land, sea, and air. Products are trucked, depending on European destination, to final point of destination through the Port of Halifax, through the Halifax Stanfield International Airport, through the Port of Montreal, through Montreal Trudeau International Airport, and of course Toronto Pearson International Airport. The Port of Halifax is the world's largest shipping lines call on the Port of Halifax. This all-season port ships products to more than 150 countries. Sailing times to European destinations, can be 2 to 3 days shorter than U.S. ports. Rotterdam, for example, 9 days, Antwerp 12 days, Hamburg 10 days, and Liverpool 6 days. So Connections through Halifax Stanfield International Airport. Flights connect to major European hubs in less than 10 hours. So with that all being said about export, we're all very familiar with CETA. CETA has been a safe and a stable trade agreement that goes well beyond tariffs. It's good for, obviously, the European Union. It's also very good for Canada. The Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement is just past its 3rd-year anniversary. The objective of this trade agreement was to bolster economic growth between Canada and the EU, and I think it's still work in progress, but I think those numbers have been achieved. Overall, there has been really strong growth in the bilateral trade since 2017, and the most visible benefits, I guess, are the elimination of tariffs. So the reduction of tariffs, which allows product to come across borders at a reduced tariff rate. The new standards set for non-tariff barriers include investment, labor, and environment. The free trade of goods and services from Canada, what it does is lowers input costs for European companies. CETA also provides European countries a wider selection of quality goods and services. It creates opportunity in Canada and the EU for smaller companies to be more competitive. P.E.I. exports and imports from the EU have grown significantly since the 2017 launch of CETA. Canadian and European countries provide a great opportunity for diversification, and CETA reduces burdensome administration, making it more efficient for smaller exporters to export their products into Canada or into the EU. So CETA is a safe, stable trade agreement, which we on both sides, Canada and the EU, we should work very closely to maximize and take advantage of the agreement that's in place that others don't have the luxury of having. So with that, I would turn it over to Brad to...
Excellent. Thank you so much, Daryl, and thank you again. Again, my name is Brad Nix, and I'm Director of Business Attraction here at Innovation P.E.I. And fundamentally, Prince Edward Island has been able to attract companies to the province because companies here with their business units make more money here in Prince Edward Island than in other jurisdictions. Also, the way we work, and because of our size, we work very much as a team approach. So all levels of government, the federal, provincial, and municipal government, along with industry associations and the university, all work together to work with companies to make sure they're successful here in Prince Edward Island. So for companies thinking about Prince Edward Island as a business location, what that means is that you get quick decisions, you get access to decision makers, and you get quality information from all partners. The partners here in Prince Edward Island want you to succeed. So again, fundamentally, the benefits of investing in P.E.I. are profitability. Companies make more money here in Prince Edward Island than in other locations. Also the opportunity, because of our size, even you can start with one person organization here in P.E.I. and you can be successful, or you can start with 100 people. It's really up to you, whatever makes sense for your business. But also government is committed to investing in infrastructure to make sure that businesses succeed here in P.E.I. So government has made that commitment for businesses. The business costs in Prince Edward Island, fundamentals. Fundamentally, Charlottetown, as Daryl mentioned, is our capital city that we're here today, is a lower cost location than other cities in North America. It's fundamentally a 20% lower cost location than Toronto and Vancouver with regards to labor, and 30% lower with regards to space compared to other locations in North America. So the fundamentals of business here in Prince Edward Island is very strong, and businesses, again, make more money than in other locations. We have a very diversified economy for a small location. We have very much international companies with regards to Honeywell and Elanco Animal Health and Sekisui Diagnostics. But we also have some great Canadian companies that are exporting products and services throughout North America and into Europe. Buchanan Technologies and Solomon Biosciences are leading companies in their area that are innovating new products and services for the global marketplace. So we're very proud of our great companies that have come from around the world to locate here in P.E.I. As Daryl mentioned, we have strategic sectors, and fundamentally what we've done, we're not everything to everybody. We've really defined our strategic sectors in where we provide value to companies that are coming to P.E.I. So fundamentally, our sectors are based on strong research capacity, infrastructure capacity, and labor pool. So we concentrate on bioscience, aerospace, information technologies, renewable energy, which is missing there, and also attracting entrepreneurs through our Launchpad program. Our bioscience industry is really a model for the rest of Canada with the way that collaborates between a very, very strong industry association that brings together government, research institutions, universities, and labor all together to make sure that the bioscience industry is successful. We have expertise in animal health and natural health products, bioactive extraction, and food development. So really our bioscience industry is really the encapsulation, and we'll have a video that really captures the bioscience industry later. Our aerospace and advanced marine sector was growing substantially. And unfortunately, COVID hit. The expertise that we have are maintenance, repair, and overhaul, and we have strategic infrastructures to support companies in those areas. We also have Canada's only tax rebate program. So fundamentally, we rebate back the provincial portion of income taxes back to companies that are established in P.E.I. Our information technology sector is actually leading our business attraction efforts. We're attracting more companies. Fundamentally, companies are establishing in P.E.I. because of the strong labor pool that exists here with regards to strong programming, strong creative people, and strong expertise in mobile game development. So, and also our lower business costs are attracting IT companies to locate here in P.E.I. Lastly, but not least, is that we do concentrate on clean technology. We are one of the leaders in Canada with regards to developing clean technology and renewable energy. As Daryl mentioned, and as our video mentioned, 25% of our energy production is from renewable sources. We have expertise in hybrid energy technology, wind energy development through EUCCAN, and energy storage and execution. And then through a Launchpad program, we also support businesses coming into Canada and through Class A office space and really reduce the risk for businesses to come in and expand. We also, as a government, support companies coming into Prince Edward Island through connections with investors, through connections with market contacts, and also support them as they develop their business in North America. So if you're a European business that wants to come into North America, Prince Edward Island provides an excellent launch pad for you to expand your business and come into North America. As I mentioned, our sectors are fundamentally based on strong infrastructure and strong research capacity. So I've listed here some of our expertise in regards to research capacity. I won't go through them all, but fundamentally, if you're a wind energy company, if you're a natural health foods company, if you're an animal health company, we have the research capacity to help you grow and expand your business coming to North America. And I'll go and one more slide. Thank you. So when this awful pandemic is finished, we certainly want you to all come and visit us here in Prince Edward Island and come and see us. We are a great business location, but we're also a great tourism location and a great hospitality location. Our representatives will provide you quality information, and we'll get back to you quickly. And we'll have a process of constant communication if you consider Prince Edward Island as a business location. So what we'd like to do before our good friend David Moss goes, we have a short video on our bioscience sector that we'd like to play, and then follow up with questions after that. Thank you.
I'll take it for granted how well we have it here.
It is a very unique business environment.
Collaboration between government and academia and industry, this is probably one of the few places where we could get away with that.
openness and the effectiveness of collaboration with other small companies has been extremely refreshing. It's meant that we've been able to accelerate the timeline of development of our own products at minimal expense to the company.
Prince Edward Island has some unique competitive advantages. We're not in competition with one another because we're all working on unique, new, interesting, and innovative things.
We have an extensive, modern, world-class biomedical research infrastructure.
I've brought colleagues in here from Scripps and from the Boston area, and they're always shocked when I tour them through this lab and show them some of the infrastructures available. And some of our analytical chemistry capabilities here are second to none in Canada.
Access to state-of-the-art equipment, access to state-of-the-art facilities. That really is the #1 reason why I came to PEI and why we're able to recruit and retain highly qualified professionals.
The Bioscience Technology program at Holland College was designed to help serve the growing bioscience sector in Prince Edward Island. We find out what they're doing in industry, we train the students to do that.
Every single year since we've been on the island, we've hired a graduate from that program.
So the opportunities here are phenomenal. For a small company like my own, we have raised several $1 million in the past maybe 3 or 4 years.
The economic development allows us to take an idea from discovery all the way through to commercialization, and they have funding for all those steps.
The local public sector, the local business community, all of these stakeholders quite keen to invest in new, solid business ideas. That level of support is very, very difficult to corral anywhere else that I've ever lived.
There's currently a clinical trial going on with one of our products, and this is really exciting to me to see that what we're doing at the bench is actually getting applied at the bedside.
We're on our way to 9 billion people on this planet, and we need to figure out a way to feed them. People on PEI can be leaders in developing plans to ensure food safety into the future.
We're experiencing roughly 100% growth over last year. We'll be roughly a $50 million business just here in PEI.
Quality life on PEI is quite simple. I literally am only 5 minutes from my office. I'm 6 minutes if I catch the one stoplight.
The pace of life here is just right for raising a family. There's a lot to do here, a lot to see.
If you're doing the research because of people and because of family, then you don't sacrifice your family for the research. There's got to be a balance, and I have that here.
But it's really the community at large, where we both work and play.
This is about a bioscience cluster that's growing. We've quadrupled our numbers in the last 10 years, and we just see the momentum building. We're just at the takeoff level at this point.
We wouldn't still be here if we didn't believe that this was the place to continue to develop the company.
Excellent. We'd like to introduce our good friend David Maas now. David?
Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So if it's my turn, I just jump in. And when my friends asked me to give the audience in this session a European perspective, I was really happy to do so. And for the record, I'm not paid for do a promotion for P.E.I. I'm giving you my very selfish view as an individual and as an investor business guy. For the context, a little bit to my background, I've been a serial entrepreneur, became an investor, and I have a great passion to help young companies, amazing innovations and technologies to go global and make a difference in the world. And if you do this journey supporting these companies, it's extremely important when you look around the globe, where are the best places, selfishly, where these companies at a certain stage of their development can grow and can, fulfill their dreams to make an impact in the world while being profitable businesses at the same time. And my personal story is that I came to Prince Edward Island by mistake or by chance. I'm a great foodie, and a friend of mine in Toronto told me, oh, there is this amazing place in the Atlantic. You have to go. They have the best lobster. You have seen it in the tourism promotional videos. That's all true. I already missed the island, so I'm logged in Europe, Hungary at the moment, but can't wait to go back. So I ended up coming to P.E.I, and actually on the second day, within an hour, all the stakeholders were called in a boardroom, and we started discussing business opportunities. And I have never, ever experienced it elsewhere in the world. So these guys are a small place, but they can act very fast. It's a great community, a very, very collaborative approach of doing things. And it's a great place to go. My daughter goes to school in P.E.I. We love to visit with the family. That's the personal selfish part. The professional one, and I give you a little bit more context, since the audience is around chambers of commerces, I've spent almost 20 years in Europe, being in boards of my local chamber here, being around in Brussels a lot, doing a lot in SME development in Europe, and trying to figure out how we help our European companies go global and find those spaces in the world where they can start doing business, leverage the infrastructure and the resources, but do it in a collaborative way, where it's also, you know, fun to go to a place and do business. And if I want to give you very, very specific examples, it was all named which are the major sectors. So it's the agri-food sector, the bioscience sector. I would point out Smart City with Summerside's Living Lab, and obviously, if as a European company you look to expand to North America, everyone is thinking about the US, thinking about when it comes to tech, Silicon Valley, but those are very, very competitive places. So why we developed the specific program with the P.E.I government and other stakeholders called the Smart Landing Program is exactly to give that support and infrastructure and space for European companies who want to go to North America. And this is a great opportunity to do it through Prince Edward Island, because they get all the resources and the assets they need to land. That's why we call it the Smart Landing Program. They need to land in Prince Edward Island, and from there on, our friends from the Launchpad help them to get their business launched in North America. So these programs work hand in hand together. And again, this is the way all the stakeholders try to work together and align forces. This is an amazing experience I have had from day one. Another piece, we have developed a startup program here in Europe, which is exactly helping startups coming from Hungary, from Central Eastern Europe, and broader from Europe, and want to go to global markets. It's also a cultural thing I want to point out, that very often, and our European friends will nod and know what I'm talking about, that oftentimes we think that you know, our universe is actually Europe, and we even are, you know, cautious to cross country borders within our European Union. But if you can show and set example with early successes from companies that it's possible to launch globally, and again, the importance of having the first experiences for early stage companies, having a short runway and limited resources, it's extremely important to have all that supportive environment and infrastructure to help them on their journey. And in collaboration with our European program and our P.E.I friends, as I said, we have developed and just launched the Smart Landing Program, and I would encourage everyone, we're going to come out with a European competition specifically for European startups. So I'd like to promote it here. You will get all the information how you can apply and take part. And my advice is, don't believe anything these guys are telling. Don't believe me anything. Come and try, and you will experience, and you will be an example for others in your community see very selfishly what are the benefits to work together with Prince Edward Island, like I do. And it's not only about business, it's about great friends, it's about a great place, people, food, community. So I'm really happy to give you my personal experience, and also if you have further questions and inquiries, feel free to reach out and experience it yourself. So thanks again for giving me this chance, and congratulations to the great work you are doing in Prince Edward Island.
Thank you very much, Daryl, Brad, and David, for this great information about PEI. Now I know I want to come and enjoy the tourism and enjoy maybe the golf course and enjoy lobster. So when COVID is out, I mean, maybe I can come and visit you. I have just a few questions in mind. So you said that your exports grew of 47% to Europe between 2018 and 2019. So I just want, even though you already touched base a little bit, what CETA changed for you in your relation to Europe?
So again, those regulations have changed, and I must admit I'm not a policy person, but again, those regulations and reduced tariffs have certainly helped the free flow of trade between Prince Edward Island and the EU, allowing again European countries to access the expertise certainly in the aerospace sector here with those regulation changes and tariff reductions.
Okay, and another question also linked to that. What do you import mainly from Europe? Because we saw the list of countries, but what are the main products that you import from the EU?
From an import perspective?
Yes.
A lot of specialized parts, a lot of inputs for companies here on Prince Edward Island. Input products for
also a lot of our imports, if I can add there, a lot of our imports also come through Toronto and Montreal into Prince Edward Island. So a lot of our retail products come through Europe. Vehicles, of course, come through into Prince Edward Island from Europe. So and also a lot of food products. And I think the CETA agreement is also expanding a lot of European products into our marketplace, also coming through Toronto and Montreal as original ports of entry.
Okay, yeah, great. Yeah, I guess food is, well, it's a very important sector for both Canada and the EU. Now I have a question that is often asked by the EU companies. So let's say an EU company would like to come and invest in the country. What's in terms of immigration, is there any particular kind of program for EU companies? I know there's already some provision in the CETA agreement, but as part of in your province, is there any particular program that EU companies can use to come easier in your province?
Yeah, really good question. Thank you. There's actually two different pathways that companies or entrepreneurs can come in through immigration. The first pathway is actually done through our business incubator called Launchpad. And Launchpad is a designated business incubator through the Startup Visa program, which is a federal program to support entrepreneurs to come into Canada to launch their products globally. So fundamentally, this program is for if there's European entrepreneurs that want to expand their business not only in Europe, but also to a global marketplace, and some of those company founders want to come to Canada to expand their business globally, they can do it through our Launchpad program. So it's certainly to encourage them to check out launchpadpei.com. And the specific information is also through the Startup Visa program is on that website. But also in addition, and I mentioned earlier in the presentation that we work very seamless. Also within our organization, we have a sister agency, which is the Office of Immigration, which is a provincial organization. But that organization works with entrepreneurs through investor programs and also through skilled worker categories to support immigration. So although that's a provincial agency, they work hand in glove with the federal Department of Immigration, and they do support entrepreneurs to come into Canada through work permit and permanent residency, but also through skilled worker categories. So there's two different pathways to support potential people coming to Canada through immigration. But again, we, through the Startup Visa program, we certainly want European entrepreneurs to expand their organizations in the European market, and then we provide that launch pad into the rest of North America.
I'd like to add something to this from a very practical European view. So P.E.I. is one of the jurisdictions within Canada where it's very easy to set up a corporation. So I recommend it to get information from our friends in Prince Edward Island. One important thing I want to highlight is if you want to explore Canada, North America early on, through a P.E.I. corporation, a European entity can set up a subsidiary without having a local Canadian director, which is really unusual actually. And I think it's only P.E.I. or some other Atlantic province which is providing that, but you would never get that in Ontario or other places. The other thing is during COVID, obviously everyone is talking about, business which is tied to travel, which is nice, but we were in a lockdown and we've been extremely successful to basically within the programs we are running, launch a scheme where since you cannot travel, really get access to the local mentoring, the local workforce, get an interim CEO into your Canadian Prince Edward Island subsidiary. So even during lockdown, we were able to land several cross-border deals where company formations were not stopped. And we got all the great support from our friends on the ground in Prince Edward Island, even we were not able to travel from Europe to North America.
Okay, thank you very much, David, for this great input. Indeed, it's important to know that things can still happen, even though, of course, COVID is affecting us again a little bit more. Actually, another question that is linked to immigration: what are the skills that are in the province compared to maybe other provinces, and that EU companies could actually take advantage when they come and land in P.E.I.?
Yeah, maybe I can answer that question to start. Really, our skill set is based around the excellent, and I believe it's around skill sets that we have here at P.E.I. We have an excellent university and excellent community college that really does train great quality employees. But our real skill sets with regards to information technology, we have great programmers, we have great animation folks, we also have very good customer service folks. But our bioscience industry, we have excellent science programs, we have excellent food science programs, and also a veterinary school. So our expertise is really around our priority sectors and our infrastructure that we've developed. So depending on the type of business that wants to come to Prince Edward Island, we will certainly go through and actually generate resumes for those businesses to make sure that we have the skill sets available to meet their business needs. And if we don't have the skill sets, we'll certainly try to get them from our neighboring provinces or other parts of Canada or through immigration pathways. But then we'll work with the business if that doesn't make sense to come to Prince Edward Island. So again, it really depends on the skill sets of the business, but IT, bioscience, and also aerospace as well. We have great skill sets in maintenance, repair, and overhaul.
Okay, thanks.
And again, I would add, if I may, which is industry agnostic. As a European company, if you want to expand to North America, it's really hard, mostly culturally, to become a great North American salesperson. So I would highlight the pool of people, which is not necessarily dependent on an industry itself, but people, very skilled people doing market research and doing actual sales for your Canadian North American arm of your European business. So don't forget that whatever industry you are in, it's a great starting point to have your first hires in sales instead of sending over your own people who are on foreign ground. So rather get the local experienced sales guys into your operations. Very practical advice again.
Great. And actually, David, I have another question for you, just in a few words, because we are almost over and I want to be mindful of the time for everyone. Can you give us, like in few words, an example of a company that's developing P.E.I. this year, as you were mentioning earlier?
Okay, I'm really happy to, because I just jumped from a call with the P.E.I. BioAlliance to this one. So we have been talking about P.E.I. BioAlliance's team that the company is already established. It's a biotech company in hardcore cell research, and for that company, having also infrastructure and R&D capacity in Europe, because we have a great R&D support system in Europe. When it comes to commercialization, though, then we always try to see North America as a launch, but also as a next round investment space. So for that strategic reason, this company out of the countryside in Hungary is a setup shop in Prince Edward Island. They have been working on it with in the last 2 years, but now the Canadian entity is finally set up. They got a 2 million euros investment out of Europe, mainly supporting their North American expansion. And again, the tactical strategic choice of P.E.I. and the BioAlliance is because we can take that investment and help them leverage using the resources and the infrastructure in P.E.I. as compared if you go to Boston or Cleveland or even Toronto, it's incomparably more expensive to get launched. So again, it's a very financial type of decision. And in this meeting, it was discussed regarding the North American IP strategy, getting access to lab space. And another thing which I want to highlight is the collaboration between actually companies who might be competitors in some spaces. Companies in the BioAlliance cluster are helping each other, which is again not a usual thing you see elsewhere in the world in more competitive spaces.
Great, thank you very much, David. And I think we will end the questions here and the session today. Thank you very much to the three of you. It was really interesting to know much more about P.E.I. and have a testimonial from David. To the audience, I just wanted to remind just some few things around the CETA. Of course, Daryl mentioned it earlier. It's not just about trade, it's also about investment, it's also about government procurement. There's a lot of opportunities. So again, feel free to visit our website to get much more information on that. And on that note, I would like to wish you everybody have a great day or great evening, depending on where you are calling. And next week, we will be with the province of Quebec. Thank you very much, everyone. You will receive the presentation later today in your email, and you will be able to review this webinar online on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day or evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.